Welcome to the Make and Design Podcast. I'm your host, Carina Gardner. On this podcast, we're unraveling the everyday joys and dilemmas of design, making, and business. For makers who want to be designers and for designers who are makers, this is your inside scoop to help you grow your business and bring more creativity to your life.
Hey guys, today I want to talk about really pouring into yourself, and I think I'm going to call this episode Betting on Yourself, because I think fewer of us bet on ourselves than I even realized. And the reason I know this is because I've talked to so many designers, people who want to do it, but they're unwilling to invest in themselves and bet on themselves. Now, this is something I feel very strongly about. I've owned a few businesses at this point, doing so many different things. And when I have decided that I'm going to go all in and I'm going to invest all in, whether I have to get the product, the software, whatever, then I am betting on myself. Let me give you an example. So when I first started teaching, I actually taught on another platform with somebody else. And I thought it was fine. It was totally fine. They had audience and I wasn't audience building. I was brand new and I had just finished my doctorate and I had started building my own design business at that point. And it really has taken me a few years to come back to teaching. But when I decided I wanted to come back to teaching, after I'd been a creative director, after I had a Ph.D, and after I built a design business that was super successful, that's when I decided to come back to teaching. I wanted to make sure I had the experience behind me so that I could teach properly, so that I could teach the things I knew that were winning and that would bring me the authority, so that you knew that what I was telling you was true, right? That the things I was telling you that I was doing in my business, that were actually making money. And these are the things I wanted you to know how to do. And those are literally the things we teach now in Design Suite, how to actually make money and how I've done it over the years, in the hopes that they will model it, and most of them are, which is fantastic, so they can see what they have to do to make money, right? So like that for me was really important. Well, here is the deal. When I started to teach classes again, I decided I wasn't going to do it on somebody else's platform. I decided that this was something I was going to do on my own, which meant I had to do things like audience build, things I didn't have to do for my design business. If you've ever come to a boot camp, or you've ever, if you've come to one of my workshops, you know this about me. I don't think that designers have to audience build. I mean, we really don't, in order to make a certain amount of money. Once you get past that point, then we do have to brand build. But for right up to about 6 figures, you really don't have to do a lot of audience building. It's super fantastic. That's why I actually love being a designer, because I'm more interested in designing, right? So, oh my gosh, where was I going with this? Okay, so the reason I say I'm going to bet on myself is because when I made the decision to finally start teaching again, and it took me some time, you guys. It was several months of me thinking on it, thinking about what it was going to look like, me testing the waters on it. I actually tested many of the courses live, and I did them individually on their own. And some of my first designers who came through Design Suite were those designers that were kind of just testing with me. And actually, it's so crazy. Some of the people you see designing or making money out there, they took my courses, okay? Fabric designers out there, I'm not going to name names, but some of the names that you have heard and buy product from, they took my courses. And, that always made me feel good, because that made me feel like, okay, what I taught them worked, and they were able to build a brand or build a company using the skills that I taught them, which always made me really, really happy. And so I tested some of the products in Design Suite before I did it, but it was really scary, because at the beginning I had to invest in a piece of software that was $2,000. And I know many of you are like, well, $2,000 is not that big of a deal if you're starting a business, right? Those of you who've taken a Design Suite with me, or you've come through one of my, listened to one of my, I don't even know what you call them, like one of the things where I teach a little bit about what I do, then you're going to know that my program is very expensive. It's an expensive program. But even for me, spending $2,000, it was a lot. it felt like a lot, and it felt scary. And I had to sit down with myself and be like, hey, if I'm going to buy this piece of software, because it was only one of actually several pieces of software I needed. I was spending, I think it was $10,000 to $12,000 on different kind of softwares to make what I needed to have happen. And I sat down and I was like, okay, Carina, if you're really going to do this thing and there's no plan B, there's zero zilch, there's no plan B, we're not just testing the waters on this. I am going to bet on myself. I'm not going to take that kind of money and I'm going to invest it in somebody else or in whatever. I'm going to take that money and I'm going to invest in me, and I'm going to bet on me. Why? Because I'll do the work. And I told myself that. I said, I'm going to do the work for this. It's going to make it worth it. It's super scary to drop this kind of money in right now into this business to get it going. But I believe in me, and I'm going to bet on me more than I'm going to bet on anyone else, because I'm in control of me. And I think people forget that they get all the control on themselves. They get to control their schedule. Yes, are there crazy factors surrounding you? Yes, there is. There are things that are out of your control. But the one thing you can control is how you spend your time, where you spend your time, when you're going to do what you're going to do, and what activities there are. So say you work all day, right? We have actually so many working women in Design Suite, and I admire them so much because I get it. I had jobs in those early years while I was designing and building my business. So I was doing both as well. So I remember it's not easy, okay? But by doing that and knowing that I had X amount of time to design, and I highly recommend you come up with X amount of time to design. Instead of worrying about the amount of time, I made sure every activity during that time were things that moved the needle in my business. And when I decided to start the Design Suite program and start testing it and seeing if it was going to work, I decided I was going to go all in. And by doing that, I have felt so incredibly lucky, because I now have this amazing business, this amazing brand that's on top of my design business. I have two very successful, financially lucrative businesses, and I feel very lucky that it has happened in this way. And that I get to spend time with my Design Suite members because I made the choices I made, that I can talk to them, that I get to see them in meetings, that I get to put more effort and time into them, that every time that you make a decision, you should be betting on you. So if you've wanted to become a designer, then you have to go, there's no plan B. If this doesn't work out, this is it. This is plan A. I'm going to do it until I can't do it any longer. And remember why you wanted to do it, right? We do things, especially at the very, very beginning, like the why in that, we should be doing it because we have some higher level thing we want to achieve. We want to pay for our kids' college. We want to be financially free. We want to build income for ourselves. We're recently separated or divorced, and we need that for ourselves. We need to build career, and we're not interested in going back to college. There's so many good reasons, and some of these are things I've seen in my Design Suite members that makes me so grateful that I get to do this every day, that I get to teach people design, because I know that I get to help change people's financial futures, right? But it only starts not with me, but with you betting on yourself, okay? And whether you're coming to my program or just trying to be a designer, you have to fully go in and bet on yourself. There's no plan B. You're just going for this. You're just doing it the way that you know how, okay? And that's by small steps every day, putting the effort into the things that you know will actually change your financial future or change your fulfillment future, because some of you aren't doing this for financial. I've seen that as well. Some of you are doing it because you need that fulfillment. You need to feel like what you're doing fills you up, lights you up. And the bonus is usually in design, if you're doing it right, you're also making money doing it, right? We want those two things to go together. And it does take time. And I see people start out betting on themselves, and then something happens, like they waver. They think it should happen faster, that they should be making so much money at 6 months, that they should be making so much money at one year. And one of the first things I tell my designers is, this is a 3-year process. You know, there's a reason Design Suite is 1 whole year. It's because I know that the first year, lots of people fall off, but it's crazy how many people fall off up until year number 3. It's because we have to look at this and behave like it's a business. And the more effort we put in, the better the results. And that's what we really need. The more effort equals better results. All right, guys, hopefully that was helpful. I want you to bet on yourself. Go all in. Go all the way in and become the designer that you have always wanted to be and that others have always wanted to purchase from.
Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.